Ich hatte jetzt wieder ein kleines Problem, ich weiß nicht warum. Das ist heute schon das zweite Mal, dass bei dem Spiel die PlayStation nicht so ganz mitspielt. Aber egal. Jetzt geht's wieder weiter. Mein Name ist RustyKay. Ich hoffe, das Spiel gefällt euch. Wenn ja, lasst einen Like-Button
Good
da. Über
evening,
ein
Doctor.
Abo würde ich
Good
mich
evening,
natürlich noch
Doctor.
mehr freuen.
Still trying to save lives?
Aber ich würde sagen, wir starten gleich wieder los mit dem Spiel.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
There are a lot of secrets round here. I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the oldest patient here.
Okay.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Okay.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Okay.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Okay, verstehe ich.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
Ja.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
Außerhalb von London, vielleicht.
I'd like
Okay.
to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs
Ich
these
will keine
days.
Waffe kaufen. Obwohl, die Schrotflinte schon... Ich will ganz sehen, wie viel ich habe. Ich würde eher sowas bevorzugen. Ja, ich lasse das. Ich habe jetzt wieder ein paar Informationen bekommen. Hier. Okay, er ist schon ziemlich weit oben. Sie auch. Ich habe noch jeweils eine Information von den beiden. Er holt sich gerade noch. So, ich spreche mal mit ein paar mehr Leuten, mit denen ich reden kann.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, das ist
So
der
it is
eine.
true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. I died.
Warte mal. Ich mach mal bei der Audio. Master lasse ich auf 9 jetzt. Die Stimme setze ich auf
My
9.
mother had a beautiful, soothing voice.
Well, a voice never lies, and yours clearly is the voice of a gentleman.
Musik setze ich etwas runter. Fix auch. Filmsequenzen lasse ich so. Damit die Stimme
Gnosis
besser
was
hört.
wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Okay.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. Fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Cool.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Okay.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Würde ich sagen, quatsche ich mit ihr nochmal.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Okay. Mal 1:5, oh mein Gott.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor. I wasn't born yesterday.
Ja, stimmt schon.
Have you heard rumors of anything underhand going on here at the hospital?
No, Doctor. Never.
Ja, ja.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett's is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett's must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
Kein Problem. Aber...
Have you heard rumors of...
No, Doc.
Hä?
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Okay.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Okay. Ich glaube, ich bin alle Fragen durch.
Goodbye,
Ja.
nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Und ich habe ziemlich viele Informationen jetzt bekommen. Von den Leuten. Den beiden. Okay, das heißt es jetzt im Grunde, dass ich... Hinweis verloren. Okay. Ach, das ist wahrscheinlich, weil ich sein Geheimnis nicht preisgebe, vermute ich. Okay. Finde ich aber nicht so cool, muss ich sagen. Naja. Gehen wir mal den Hauptquest nach, würde ich sagen. Ich kann mit dem Bein reden? Nee, ja doch. Aber...
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect. What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a
Ich hab dich
patient
bedroht.
here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Okay.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Pippa Hawkins ist, glaube ich... Warte. Ist sie schon im Krankenhaus? Ich geh mal darüber. Ja, eine ist hier drin. Pippa Hawkins ist doch... die, oder? Ja. Ah, ich weiß, wo sie ist. Wenn sie noch an der gleichen Stelle steht wie vorhin. War sie nicht? Die stand doch hier, oder? Warte. Oh, ihm will ich Medizin geben. Ne, habe ich schon.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Pippa Hawkins. Okay, guck ich mal oben nach. Hier ist sie, oder? Ja.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Was? Leuchtet schneller und leuchtet. Indem du ihn anschaust, schaltest du besondere Interaktionen frei. Okay.
We've dodged death so many times. Oswald, you can't just die like this.
Okay, es muss der sein. Nee. Ist da vorne.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Okay. Ich hätte eventuell noch vorher meine Erfahrungspunkte nutzen sollen, Fähigkeiten verbessern. Ah ja, egal. Aber das setzt sich ja gut an. Okay. Hier stand doch gerade noch einer.
Savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Wer redet hier? Okay. Also ich gehe vorher zu denen. Eine Bürger retten. Okay. Oh. So, Mann, was ist denn los mit dir? Oh oh. Nein! Ach, das mit dem Betäuben funktioniert aber nicht immer so gut. Ja, schon klar. Ja, ich hätte mich eventuell wirklich noch aufbessern, also verbessern sollen. Erfahrungspunkte hernehmen. Was ist denn los? Ich verstehe das nicht.